Well, I've been overdoing it a little bit with the heat. My allergies decided to pay a visit yesterday, and that being the case, I laid down for a couple hours just now and just walked out, and the clouds are here. A little bit of a breeze. It is cooler. You can see the tops of the neighbors' trees moving a bit. I was planning to keep it short tonight because last night's went way long. And this may be a good reason to do that because we may get wet. I was thinking about the test peening I did and how I had done sanding on the face, and I just remembered I'd already clamped this, so I'm doing this with the depth gauge part. We're at about 400, just a little over 475 thousandths of an inch. So I think I've still got enough that I can sand this and try to make it a little bit smoother. Let me measure the old one, and if so, I'll try to do that a little bit. Okay, I've locked the jaws on the caliper. As you can see, there's definitely, from the original to the new one, there's quite a difference in the thickness. I am going to try to do a little bit just to smooth the wood down closer to the pins, see if I can take out where I overdid the countersinking. I'm going to try to keep it shorter tonight. The camera, or excuse me, while I was setting up the clamp and everything here, I thought I felt raindrops. I thought it was over before we got started, but I am going to do as much as I can. That is, or at least appears to me, to be looking better. I haven't really taken much off, just hit it briefly with the flat side of the file. But you can, or I can see, I don't know if it's visible, there's a little bit of metal showing in the sawdust there. So I have got down to the pins. I'm going to keep going. I'm not going to leave the camera running. It overheat. I've done both sides of the spatula handle now, just the where the pins are. The countersink that I did isn't as obvious now, and I don't think I really took that much off the overall thickness. We were at about 478 thousandths before. Just test it here. We're still at about 438 thousandths. 440. I may do a little bit more as they're more pronounced. The around there on the pins on the back side. The front side, however, looks pretty good, other than where I tried to do it left-handed, and I'm gonna have to smooth that out there. I'm gonna keep going on it, work the whole handle, and we'll see how it looks when I'm done. The clouds have definitely made it darker. I went ahead and did a little more on both sides, top and bottom. The pins are looking a lot better, feeling a lot better. I also went ahead and did a little bit at the back of the handle. I still need to do some more rounding, particularly at this front where I took more off. But I think that looks good, other than the fact that that hole is going to be off now, since I reshaped the handle. Guess I should have waited to do that till the end. I think I'm going to leave that now, and we'll see if I can get much done on the knife. Depends on the weather. I've got the knife clamped in now. I'm going to work where these pins are, work the surface first before I take it back on the shaping on the sides. The weather may let me do something. Somewhat of a curiosity, you can definitely see where I missed with the hammer and hit too hard. I admit my mistakes. This pin where it bent, they're still showing a recess around it. I don't think I'm going to be able to take it down enough to take care of that. So I'll have to find some type of filler. But it has helped nonetheless doing this. And we'll have to see how it looks after I get it sanded. I went ahead and went over the whole side of the knife. And while it's not perfect or a professional job, I think that for an amateur who's never done this before, in fact, I was thinking last night, the only experience I had with any type of working with pins or anything was actually rivets, copper rivets on bridles when I was about 10 or 11, and most of my participation was actually observation, not actually doing anything. I think I'm going to try to get this clamped and see about getting the shape to follow the tang. I do have quite a bit to take off on that yet, if the weather holds out. It's not obvious maybe with the camera, but right here there's actually a hump on the back of the handles. I think I'm going to end up doing this with the sander, use the power, or possibly use a rasp instead of the file. Something that I was thinking about and was going to comment on, if you notice, I've filed a little bit here, but it's darker, the wood's darker here. And it's actually already starting to get a little bit of a natural patina, which I actually like. However, my hands have been dirty and whatnot, and I still need to figure out a finish for this wood. Any comments or with suggestions would be greatly appreciated. I'm going to look at a rasp. And one other thing while I'm thinking about it. Last night, plugged in the charger and the manual, which I have that smells a lot like plastic. Says here, based on the batteries, these are 1300 milliamp batteries that came with it. It should be a 5-hour charge, and the indicator glows red when it's charging and changes to green when it's finished charging. Put those out of the way. I plugged it in about 8:30 last night, and it actually woke me up this morning when it went to the green light from the red, because it was actually much brighter. So it took actually almost 12 hours to charge those batteries that it said it should take 5. Maybe that's an indication that I didn't use them for too long after I got them. I've actually thought about it, and it may be 3 years since I got them. But I think I'm going to go get a rasp and we'll go from there. I actually bought these files for a particular file. There's a half round that goes with it that I can't find. One end of it is just the cross cut, or the whatever that is, and the other is rasp, and then on the same on the other side, rasp and file. It's just really comfortable. Actually, I saw a friend that had one, and I said I wanted to steal their tool, and they said, go to Harbor Freight and get your own. So I did. Obviously, I don't use these much from the rust on them, and they sat in my truck, and it had a leak and all kinds of stuff. I'm going to put the handle on this half round rasp and see about trying to shape this, if I can get the handle off. See if I can shape this handle a little better. That's definitely taking the material off faster, but I'm going to move the camera so I don't knock it over and see if I can do some more. Hell, I had to do a little bit of reconfiguring with my clamping to get comfortable to do that, but that's definitely taken the meat off that. I don't want to have to change the handle on this rasp yet back to the file, so I'm going to flip it over and see about shaping the finger side of the knife. See how it goes. Oh, I need to drink more water. The rasp definitely is aggressive. Look at this sawdust. And also, look at what it did to the handle there. Thankfully, I am planning to round out the edges, but wow. I went back to the regular half round. I'm going to see about doing some more shaping. It works really nice on these concave areas here on the knife, and it's following the shape of the tang really nicely. Now I put it away. The tool in question that I put away, the utility knife, wanted to clean that just a little bit. I didn't take this all the way down in all the areas. There's still some to work off yet. I'm going to keep going on that. Oh no, rain. Just kidding, that's just me sweating. I really need to stay hydrated. Another one down. While the rasp was somewhat of a necessary evil, I needed to turn this around to try to get the edges clear on the other side. I couldn't get to it from the other side, me being right-handed. Just so I don't end up taking any more unnecessarily off where the rasp caught those and splintered it a bit. I'm going to keep going. There's still a little bit there and on this tail, and nobody fall against that blade. I think I'm done with the files. I have this following the shape of the tang pretty well all the way around. It's also getting dark. The video quality's going to go if it hasn't already. We'll go from there, and once again, if anybody has a suggestion on a finish for these, I would appreciate a comment. If you like, please give me a thumbs up. Share if you like the series, the video.